Usually we pay a lot of attention to the main dish, being it meat, fish, or fowl. But we've decided in some of our episodes to focus a little bit more on side dishes because they're equally important to create a good meal. And today we're going to start with one of the absolute basics, oven roasted potatoes.
Extra delicious and super crispy.
Absolutely, and I'm going to show you some tricks and techniques that assure that you get that really crispy exterior and soft interior on your potatoes. I have here 8 medium-sized potatoes washed thoroughly because we want to leave the skin on. We're going to split it in half and then down the middle and cut it into bite-sized pieces like this. And then we're going to take them straight into cold water and leave them there. Last one's in, and this is the first trick actually. Potatoes in cold water and you don't rinse it. You want to leave the starch in there. If you were making fries, for instance, you will rinse it 2, 3, maybe even 4 times to get rid of the starch from the potatoes. Now we want to keep the starch because that will help us. So we bring this to a boil and then we let it go 5-7 minutes after it starts boiling. It took a couple of minutes longer than expected. You want to cook them here until they are fully cooked like this. So cook depending on what potatoes you're using. This is spunta. You see they're fully cooked here. So now I'm going to drain them and we get them over to the sink here quickly. And then we want to put them back here on the stove and give them a little bit of heat so that we can get rid of any excess water here. We want them to dry out a bit, give them a little bit of a stir. And it doesn't matter that you rough them up a little bit. That's actually what we want. We want them to get a little bit destroyed on the edges because that gives that nice crust. Third trick, and when they have dried out a bit, we set them to a side and we take a small pot and then we're going to take, what shall we say, a couple of tablespoons of butter here, half of what I have I would say, into our little pot, get that melted. And when that's all nice and melted, we're going to pour that over our potatoes to give them, that's going to help a lot on the crust, trust me on that. And then a couple of pinches of salt. I forgot to mention before that the water was slightly salted, but we want to have the crust with some nice sea salt and a pinch of black pepper, and we give that a good, nice
beating up.
Yeah, rough them up a bit. That's what makes them good. And then they go in to an oven pan here and get all of them out here. There's 2 that were trying to escape. That's not going to work. And spread them nicely. Like this. That looks good. And that roughness that you see there, that's what's going to get that crispy crunch when we are finished with them. This is going to be really good. We take them to our oven and get them in. And we have the oven preheated to 220 Celsius, and they go in the middle rack for 35 to 40 minutes. And in the middle, we're going to give them a toss around so they get brown on all sides. They have been in almost half an hour because, as I'll show you now they're starting to crispen up nicely. And you don't want to touch them too early because then they will just fall apart. But now it's the perfect time to give them a little bit of a stir around here so we get them crisp also on the other sides.
They smell really nice with the butter.
Yeah, it smells super good. And they're going to be really, really crispy and nice, but they need to go much longer. So we'll check in on them 15-20 minutes. Our beautiful taters are ready and very, very, very warm. But look how beautiful that is.
Ooh, they
excellent.
Look impressive.
And they smell fantastic. I mean, butter roasted potatoes, what's not to love? Now comes the painful time. We have to wait a little bit because they are too warm to taste test right now. See, these are just potatoes you can serve next to any steak or chicken or whatever. They are so perfect. I don't know, I'm not sure you can hear this, but
yeah.
Can you hear?
Yeah,
It's fantastic. But a little bit of homemade mayonnaise. There's nothing like potatoes with mayonnaise. You know, the Belgians, they know how about to do that. They're just bloody fantastic. I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. Again, I rest my case.